Okay, let's check out the Iron Hammer. Obviously a cross between Iron Man and Thor. If not, I'm gonna be very surprised. Looks, I guess you could. I honestly would I would easily mistake it for like an Asgardian knight, like some sort of Asgardian knight. Like he stands, like he stands at the gates of Asgard, but like, "You shall not pass," and just like swings his hammer. It's like, oh, it's like, but we need to pass. It's like, no. It's like, no more, like, no non-Asgardian shall pass through the gates. I do like the markings on his arm, on the armor though. That actually looks pretty awesome. And it just makes me think back to the Avengers Earth Mightiest Heroes, which was that cartoon that appeared on Disney for a bit. And generally season 1, if you remember, like, it was like the end of season 1 where they went against Loki. Tony Stark needed some armor, and he asked the dwarves to make him a new set of armor. This wasn't it, obviously, but it was pretty, like, that just gives me thoughts like, oh, this is this is probably what happened. It does look cool though. Like, the more I look at it, the more I appreciate it. It's just like I am coming straight off of Ghost Panther, who looks way too awesome for words, to this. So hopefully you can understand. He doesn't have an idle animation. He just holds it. He's like, let's go. So, before we look at the information, what's the location? How much? How much is this guy? Wait, what? He's not in the shop. He is not in the, like, it says find him in the shop, but usually when it says find him in the shop, he's usually listed as a special. As a specialty. So information, Stark Odinson. What? Stark Odinson, the brainy but arrogant son of the Allfather, was kidnapped by ice giants and forced to make them an armory. He cleverly turned their forges against them and became the armored Asgardian Iron Hammer. Wow. So Odin had a kid that wasn't named Thor and instead named Stark. Okay. So let's have a look at his stats. At tier 2. Oh dear God. Okay, Black Panther was not, if Black Panther was not a glass cannon, I would say that Iron Hammer is the glass cannon. He only so without the obvious stat boost, he caps out with energy attack of 6.2k, and this is at max potential, by the way. His physical defense maxes out at just under 4,500. His energy defense pretty much maxes out at 4,500, and his HP is 17k or 17.5. I'm rounding, obviously, rounding up and down, obviously. So, leader skill passive applies to all infinite power, applies to all allies. Decrease skill cooldown by 24%, increases 15% increase to energy attack, increases lightning damage by 15%. That's actually rather promising, because that already beats out Rocket Raccoon's leader passive of a skill cooldown. And he increases energy attack and lightning damage. So normal passive applies to self, 100% chance to become immune to lightning damage. Oh, yeah. Oh, this is your replacement for Thor Groot. This is the replacement for Thor Groot, because that was the main problem with Thor Groot was that although you would essentially use him to be immune to lightning damage, which there is a level for that, the problem was that he dealt like no damage. But in this case, in terms of Shadowlands, because that's the stage I'm referring to, in terms of Shadowlands, this might not help, because I think that our Iron Hammer here is going to have all lightning damage to begin with, so that's kind of a self-defeating purpose there. Anyway, that is passive. Tier 2 passive. Overload applies to self, increases skill damage by 32%, bonus damage by 15%, lightning damage increased by 40%, super armor, and all defenses plus 5%. Not bad, but he really seems like he's going to be the basic lightning user, and I would say, like, if you don't have Thor, I guess you get Iron Hammer or something. I don't know. Anyway, active skill, Giant Blow. Deals 5% shock damage every 1 second. Lightning damage, 73% of energy attack. Additional 29% lightning damage. It's nice to see another shock damage bit going here. High speed hammer. Stun for 2 seconds. Lightning damage, 20% of energy attack. Lightning rod. Deals 10% shock damage every 1 second. Applies to self. 1% max recovery of max HP for 1 second. Lightning damage, 121% of energy attack. So I'm probably seeing him as a recovery build, just so you can make use of this if you wish. Hammer beam. Fracture applies to all enemies. Fracture 10%. Fracture for 10 seconds. Decreases 1% decrease to all defenses. Somebody please tell me what the heck fracture stands for before I try and look it up. Applies the self. 50% immunity to all damage. Lightning damage. 87% of energy attack. You can move the virtual pad while using the skill. Iron Barrage, 15% shock damage every 1 second for 5 seconds. Stun for 3 seconds. 5% decrease to all defenses. Stacks up to 30%. Excuse me. Lightning damage, 72% of energy attack. Oh boy, he is on the low end of universal type characters. So his team ups is obviously Iron Man and Thor. No team up with Odin. No team up with Odin. No team up with Loki. No team up with anyone else. Just that. I think that's where our general problem lies, is that they don't really have team ups. They have team bonuses with good characters, thankfully. Well, I mean, all characters are generally good. It's just in terms of how you use them. It's just you have ones that are already better, and it's like, why would you want to run these? Anyway, let's preview the skill. So he throws his hammer down and just flies in. Like, yo, let's go. And he's floating. Okay. He floats above him, but it's a bit jarring. It's a bit jarring, like, or is he actually that tall? So his close range and long range attack is just pew pew lasers, which sadly you can't shoot it from very far away. Skill 1. He just comes in with that hammer like, Ugh! Ugh! I do tend to like hammer weapons. Sort of. But I wish the hammer was bigger. Oh well. Skill 2. So he shoots a bunch of homing lasers. He shoots a bunch of homing lasers at the enemy, and then comes in with a lightning strike. That's seeing it from from far away. That is pretty cool, though. Skill 3. He just calls down lightning from above and just shoots it out. It's very short in animation. Okay, so skill 4. Okay, okay. I actually like that. He throws the hammer and just blasts you to oblivion. He has to wind up and then he throws the hammer like Shao Kahn and just shoots and just goes in a shoot all. Okay, so let's see here. Skill 5, last one. Okay, that was pretty cool. Hey, you have to see that one from far away. So, he flies up, strikes you with lightning and lasers, then throws the hammer at you. Honestly, he looks cool, but at the same time, I'm just looking at him, I'm like, yeah. It's kind of underwhelming, especially and like I said before, like I'm coming off of looking at Ghost Panther. So, yeah. But that is Iron Hammer. Last character in the last video for this. Well, I wouldn't say it's the last video. Maybe I'll try and do the new mode that's been introduced. Next video will be Weapon Hex.